Some of the sights and sounds of game one here at the ballpark. The Minnesota Twins won the opener. Tonight it's the back half of the doubleheader. The nightcap, if you will, on a cool evening tonight here in the Motor City. We'll check out the starting lineup for game two for the Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ben Revere will lead it off in center field tonight. Jamie Carroll playing second base in game two. Joe Mauer will catch. Willingham in left. Morneau at first base. Domet, Plouffe, Carson, and Florimone will round out the lineup for Ron Gardenhire. And meanwhile, it'll be Drew Smyly on the hill for the Tigers, and he is presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
At 20th game, 21st game now for Smyly this season. He started the year as the number 5 starter in that rotation. He's kind of handled himself in a very nice way. The ERA is just a shade under 4.5. He's got a fastball anywhere from 91 to 94. Nice little breaking ball and a really good changeup and a lot of mound presence for a young kid. Take a look at the Beaumont Health System defense sponsored by Beaumont. Barry's in left and Brennan Bosch is in right. Jackson's back out in center. Cabrera, Peralta, Santiago, and Fielder are in the infield. And Alex Avila is starting the nightcap.
Well, you caught yourself beautifully there. That was a nice makeup. Well, here we go. Ben Revere will start things off for Minnesota. And Drew Smyly ready to go to work. Here we go. The first pitch in tonight's ball game is a strike on Ben Revere. He'll be followed by Jamie Carroll and Joe Mauer. It is nippy here at the ballpark tonight. Not too bad, though. 56 our game time temp. And the 0-1. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Ranging right is Santiago. And he'll throw him out. One gone.
It's nice to keep Revere off the base pass. They were not able to do that in the first game of the doubleheader. And because of that, Revere was a really nice table setter for his squad.
Last start for Drew Smyly was against the Angels at home on August 25th. He's battled a couple of different injuries this year, blister and a intercostal problem, a side muscle to be more exact. There's a ball low to Jamie Carroll. Carroll playing in the nightcap is at second base tonight, batting .261. Smiley's 1-0. That's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Carroll does not have a lot of pop in that bat. Just 1 homer this year, but you can see that he chokes up on the bat and very seldom strikes out. He puts the ball in play and usually gives Ron Gardenhire a quality at bat.
That home run that you mentioned came on September the 3rd against the White Sox, and it was his first homer in over 1,300 plate appearances in the major leagues. Just to show you how infrequent it is when Jamie Carroll hits one out. He's ahead of the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Smyly's pitch. Make it 2-2. Drew Smyly has made 1 start this year against the Twins. It resulted in a win. He went 5 innings in that game. That's lifted toward right field, slicing away from Bosch, and it's going to drop in. Base hit. Carroll will pull in with a 1-out single. We'll bring up Joe Mauer. Twins offense exploded late in game one. Most of their scoring was done in the 6th inning on. 13 hits for Minnesota. Mauer in that opener was 3 out of 4. And he looks at one right down the middle, 0-1.
Joe Mauer's had a nice series. He is 5 for 8 in the series, and he is chasing down Miguel Cabrera now for the American League batting title.
Yeah, his stretch run has really been a good one, which has put him back into that title chase for the batting crown.
He's already won multiple batting titles, and so he knows how to handle himself this time of the year.
He's won 3 of them to be exact, which is quite an accomplishment for a guy that plays a demanding position behind the plate. Although in recent time he's caught less and less. He's played some first base. He is DH'd.
His batting average this year is over 300 against left-handed pitching. As a matter of fact, he tripled in the game earlier.
Four RBIs in the opener. That 3-base hit came in the 8th inning of game 1. As the Twins at that time were piling on the runs. 1-1 strike on Joe Mauer. Runner goes outside. Avila's throw is not in time.
That is something that the Minnesota Twins do a lot of. They stole quite a few bases in the first game of the series. And if you're Drew Smyly, anytime they get somebody on the base pass that runs, you've got to pay more attention to them. Carroll's not one of their base stealing threats. However, he's successful here. Real good slide there by Jamie Carroll.
Carroll gets his 9th. The Twins stole 3 bags in the opener today. Here's the 2-1. Missed it. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And take a look at where the right foot ends up. The outside part of the base, giving Peralta very little to tag there.
Now Mauer an RBI chance. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Mauer has driven in 83. And he shoots one foul back of the screen. 3-2 on the Minnesota catcher. Earlier this year, moved into the all-time slot as #1 in games caught. In Twins history, 832nd game of his career, came back in August. Three balls, 2 strikes on Joe Mauer, just underway in the nightcap here. 1 on and 1 out. Smyly steps off now with Carroll at second base. Mauer's had a good series, 5 for 9. And he sends a ground ball to first. That's a fair ball. Prince will get it. Step on the bag for the out. Advance Carroll to third.
It's a good pitch there by Smyly. It's an off-speed pitch, and that's one of the ways that you get Mauer out. He's looking for a fastball that he can hit the opposite way, but if you throw him something off-speed, that's a breaking ball down. You get him out in front of it, and you get him to roll over as he did there to Fielder.
So it'll take a 2-out hit now from Josh Willingham, who steps in. Willingham scored a run, was 1 for 5 in the opener today. And Smyly misses low and in. Avila, good stop.
As good as Justin Morneau has been the last 72 games for the Minnesota Twins, hitting well over 300, you need to be careful here with Willingham with the base open and 2 outs. He's been a major run producer for Minnesota.
110 runs driven in. Good pitch, outer edge, 1-1. 92 from Smyly.
He's already thrown a couple of really good fastballs. 1 to Carroll, that one there to Willingham at 91 and 92 respectively. Spotted beautifully on the outside corner.
Another good stop by Avila. 2 balls, 1 strike. Smyly had a 10 strikeout game earlier this year against Kansas City. And the 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, so it appears he is being extra cautious here. With the lefty Morneau waiting on deck. Twins trying to get an early run here with 2 outs in the first. And the 3-1. Walked him high. Base on balls to Willingham. And that'll put runners at first and third. Here is Justin Morneau.
Here's one of the reasons why he decided to pitch around Willingham with the base open. 17 home runs this year. Of the 19 have come against righties and hitting only .235 against left-handers, but he's been pretty good lately. Smiley must make some really good quality pitches if he's going to get out of this jam in the first inning.
Yeah, Morneau was 1 for 4 in the opener with an RBI. First and third for the Twins and 2 outs. And Morneau takes, it's a ball high.
Morneau's very smart hitter, no doubt, looking for something off speed here.
And he drives one toward left, but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. He won an MVP back in 2006, became the first Canadian-born player to win an American League MVP award. Larry Walker won one in the National League. Missed it outside. It's 2-1.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Larry Walker wore number 33 as well for the Colorado Rockies.
2 really good Canadian-born players that turned into outstanding big league hitters. Here's the 2-1. Line to left field and hit well, and on the run, diving play by Quentin Berry. Wow. He saved perhaps 2 runs there. A slicing line drive off the bat of Justin Morneau, and Quentin Berry saves the day early on.
Days ago, it was Tuesday against the Oakland Athletics. Quentin Berry stretched out for a ball in left field, and he appeared to separate his shoulder, but he didn't separate it. He jammed it. He had to leave the ball game on that particular evening. He's had a few days off, but how about the play that he just made in the outfield? What a special diving play. And as you mentioned, he saved Drew Smiley a few first-inning runs here with this play.
He did indeed, and so the Tigers come to the plate now in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game. Jackson Berry Cabrera here in the bottom of the first facing Walters. And A.J. looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jackson.
That's a play right there that Berry made that you don't see a guy with the glove on the left hand. They don't make that play. They can't get across their body in time to make that play.
Good point.
A couple more looks at that spectacular play by Q, who just continues to give this team energy when he does get a chance to play.
Jackson looks at a ball high, 3-1. Jackson hitting .300, 0 for 3 in the opener. P.J. Walters brings home the 3-1, and it's shot to right field, base hit. Jackson goes the other way, and the leadoff man is on. Let's check out the rest of the Detroit Tigers lineup here this evening, presented by our good friends at Big Boy. Looks like this. You saw Jackson. Barry will follow him. Cabrera then fielder. Delman the DH. Bosch is in right field for game 2. Peralta, Avila, and Santiago playing second base. Rounding it out. So here's Quentin Berry, fresh off the great catch in the top of this inning. See what he can do now with the bat. .357 this year against Minnesota pitching. They're in tight at third base. That's Plouffe creeping in, and there's a strike on Quentin.
When Barry is batting second, it gives Jim Leland's lineup the same kind of look that Ron Gardenhire had in game 1, with Span leading off and then Revere, the speedy Ben Revere, batting second.
Runner bluffs, and it's ball 1 low. 1-1 the count. Well, the top 4 hitters in the Tigers lineup here in this game, Jackson, Berry, Cabrera, fielder, combined to hit .391 against Twins pitching. That's coming into tonight. There's Cabrera waiting on deck. Jackson back in there standing up. Another toss back.
It's a real quick move there by P.J. Walters, who is making his 11th start this year, 6.39 ERA, and in 3 starts in September. And boy, he's been giving up some crooked numbers.
Brought to you by Fox Toyota, Rochester Hills. Popped him up. Left side of the infield, the shortstop Florimone to the grass, still drifting. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins defensive alignment in the second game of the doubleheader. You have Willingham, Revere, and Carson in the outfield. You have Plouffe, Florimone, Carroll, Morneau in the infield, and Joe Mauer is the catcher. He was the designated hitter in the first game.
So Miguel Cabrera right now with a 12-game hitting streak. And in that streak, he's batting .388. First pitch low, 1-0. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. And don't forget, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries, and hopefully the bats will come alive here in game 2. Tigers in that opener managed only 6 hits. And for most of the day, they had only 4. Cabrera watches one sail outside, 2-1.
Walters is one of those guys that's not going to overpower you. His fastball goes anywhere from 89 to 93, and he'll just touch 93 on occasion. But what he does have, he has a really good changeup, and he's not afraid to throw that pitch in any count.
Well, he's falling behind Cabrera here. And it's fouled back. Miguel in the opener was 1 for 4, had an RBI double. A couple of hits in the series against Minnesota. There's fielder waiting on deck. That is pulled foul.
There's that changeup right there from Walters at 80 miles an hour. Kind of tied Miguel up a little bit. A lot of fading action on that changeup.
Cabrera, as we know, has done a lot of damage since joining the Tigers. He became the first Tiger to have at least 30 homers and 300 total bases 5 consecutive years. No other Tiger has done that. And he has a 2-2 count here. And he pops it up foul. This will get back into the seats. It's really been fascinating to see Cabrera navigate through this season. We talked about how he spent the month of August battling a sore ankle. And down the stretch we come, and Cabrera has been as hot as anybody. Trying to lead his team to the playoffs this year. The 2-2 laid off the breaking ball. 3-2 now on Miguel.
Interesting decision here for Jim Leyland in the first inning. It's not that he does not have confidence in Cabrera to put the ball in play if Jackson does take off, but if Jackson steals the base and Cabby makes an out, they will lose Prince Fielder's bat.
Runner goes, and it's drilled toward right center field. Hit well. This looks like trouble. That ball is up against the wall. That'll get a run in. Cabrera on his way to second with a double to right center field.
He's awfully special. He got himself what appeared to be a changeup at the bottom of the zone. He goes down to get it, and he flips it off the right center field scoreboard, the out-of-town scoreboard, and that is now Miggy's 40th double of the season to go along with 42 home runs. He and Hank Greenberg, the only Tigers to ever do that.
And he's given the Tigers an early 1-0 lead. Greenberg in 37 and 40. Able to accomplish that feat. Meanwhile, they want Prince to hit it there. And Fielder cuts and misses 0-1. 1 run on 2 hits in the inning. The RBI double by Cabrera. Miguel now has driven in 133.
.420 batting average with a couple of home runs and 12 driven in this year for Fielder against Minnesota pitching.
Ball 1. Fielder was 0 for 3 in the opener, had 3 hits in yesterday's ball game. Here's the 1-1, and it's a strike called on the outer edge.
Prince did not like that call. And from the home plate umpire this evening, Brian O'Nora.
Fielder has walked 81 times this season. On base percentage over 400 still. And he pulls that one in the air to right field. Carson will circle under it. Runner will tag but hold. As Cabrera actually just heads back to the bag, and there are 2 gone. It's going to bring up Delman Young. Delman batting .270. There's 1 for 4 in the opener. .72 RBIs now for the former Minnesota Twin. Swing and a miss.
And Minnesota Twins obviously know Delman Young. They know the fact that he likes to swing at the first pitch at least 40% of the time. Therefore, Walters decided to throw him an off-speed pitch there out of the zone.
Way outside. It'll go to the backstop as he gets away from Mauer. Move the runner to third. One ball, 1 strike.
This one even further outside.
Wild pitch. Bowman shoots that one foul down the right field line. 1-2. Bosch would be next if Young reaches here. 1-0 on the RBI double by Miguel Cabrera. Twins won the opener 10-4. And the 1-2. Mauer able to block that one in the dirt, save a run. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cabrera not afraid to chat with the opposing team.
Always chopping it up with somebody. Always smiling too. Has a lot of fun playing the game, but if you had that kind of talent, I guess I'd have fun too.
Swing and a miss. Young is down, and that is that for Detroit. But they get a run. Miguel Cabrera drives in another one. RBI 2-base hit to the gap in right center. That is 1-0 Detroit. Drew Smyly back to the hill as we go to the second. In his last 2 starts, an ERA of 2.25, and Smyly was able to pitch around a single and a walk in that first inning.
16 strikeouts against 2 walks in those last 2 starts.
And he'll face Ryan Domit to start things off here in the second, and Domit looks at a ball 1-0. Domit, then Plouffe, and then Carson against the young lefty. There's the strike right at the knees. 1-1 on Domit. Scored a couple of runs in the opener, finished 1 for 4, his only hit so far in the series. Fouled straight back.
Here's another reason why Jim Leyland may have elected to have Smyly start here this evening instead of Rick Porcello. Domit, one of those guys whose numbers are a lot better against righties and lefties. This time of year, you have to take every advantage possible to help your team get into the postseason.
2-2.
And Jim is not a huge numbers guy, but every now and then he will look for a favorable matchup.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pulled right at Cabrera at third base. He's going to throw it. Doesn't matter, though. They say he caught it. 1 out.
It's what you're taught to do. As a fielder here, you don't know exactly what the third base umpire is going to call. So you just finish the play. And Miguel took a look to see exactly what was being called, but he still was in the process of throwing the ball over to Prince Fielder.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe today was 1 for 5, had an RBI.
He had that big base hit against Brian Villarreal.
On the first pitch he saw. Plouffe with 23 home runs this year, the first Twins rookie to reach the 20 plateau since 1995 when Marty Cordova that year hit 24. He went on to be the rookie of the year.
He sure did.
Two balls, one strike. Swing and a miss. Up in the zone, 2-2 on Trevor Plouffe. Well, the ratio just about 50-50. 31 pitches now for Smiley. 9 of Plouffe's home runs this year have come in interleague play. And the 2-2. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Turning point in game 1 was a 5-run sixth, and Plouffe had a hit to give the Twins the lead in that frame. And the 3-2 fouled straight back. Trevor earlier this year had a 17-game hitting streak. And he's waiting on a 3-2 offering. He got him, strike 3. Plouffe is punched out.
Smiley's top fastball's been at 92 today, but he's been able to spot that pitch on the outside corner to several of the right-handed batters today. You're not going to get hurt with that pitch if you continue to locate it on the black outside.
Hey, this game tonight is available in cool, crisp, high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast.
Just like the weather, cool and crisp.
Exactly like the weather. And with 2 gone, there's ball 1 to Matt Carson, who gets his first start in the doubleheader. Carson, a .244 hitter. Smiley missing low, 2-0. Carson's been in the Oakland organization. Lifted in the air, shallow right field. It's going to be a long run for whoever gets there. It's Santiago. Nice play right in front of Bosch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Smiley. To you by Comerica Bank, strength and stability since 1849. Jeep, stop by the Jeep Celebration event today at your local Jeep dealer. And by Dannon Yogurt, possibly the best yogurt in the world. Back here at Comerica Park as we go to the bottom of the second. In game 2 in this doubleheader, the Tigers are leading the Twins 1-0. Bosch, Peralta, Avila in the home half of the second against P.J. Walters. Bosch getting the start here in game 2, playing out in right field, batting .244.
He's got himself in a real friendly hitter's count.
Waving a miss. Only .222 in the month of September for Bosch. He started the second half of the season hitting the baseball pretty well. .295 in July with 4 home runs. And has seen his playing time diminish of late. The 2-1 pitch is rolled to first base. Morneau has it, flips to the pitcher covering, one gone. He's going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Not a whole lot of success this year against the Twins. Only .205 for Peralta. And Johnny looks at a breaking ball low and away. 1 run, 2 hits for Detroit. Twins no runs, 1 hit. That's a strike on the outer edge. 1-1. Johnny in the month of September also scuffling, 182. Looking for his first hit in this series. And he shoots this one in the air to right field. Carson is on the run, still going back, and he'll backhand it on the run in the gap. 2 gone.
Carson got a pretty good jump on this ball. He took one look over at Ben Revere. He saw that Revere, who's playing center, was not going to get there, and he had to get on his horse to make the running grab. And there's not a whole lot that goes up in the air in center field that Revere doesn't catch.
Here's Alex Avila. Alex at .248. 1 for 3 yesterday, knocked in a run. Laird caught the opener. Avila here tonight. Here's the 1-0.
Yesterday's action for Avila was his first action since he collided with Prince Fielder's right elbow in Cleveland on that last road trip.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Avila given time at home plate. P.J. Walters, originally an 11th round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals back in 2006, played his college ball in South Alabama, while Avila played his college ball at the University of Alabama.
A couple of years while Walters was wearing that Cardinals uniform, he was rated in their minor league system as having the best changeup in the organization.
Parts of 3 years with the Cards, and then was traded to Toronto in the Colby Rasmus deal. And there's a walk, so Avila gets aboard with 2 outs.
Here's that injury we were speaking of with Avila and Prince Fielder on the pop-up in Cleveland. Scary moment for everyone.
Knocked his glasses off, and Avila went down.
And the guy that he's standing over at first base right next to, Justin Morneau, knows all about having concussions and concussion symptoms.
Santiago takes a strike.
And Avila said as much a couple of days ago. He said that he had had conversations with both Denard Span and also Morneau in the past about some of those things that they were going through as they tried to work themselves back into playing shape.
Well, the concussion that Morneau had was one that just kept lingering. And it looked like such an innocent play at second base. He was kneed sliding into second base, but it just wouldn't go away. Or the symptoms wouldn't, at least. The 1-1. Santiago grounds it foul, and it hit Gene Lamont in the foot. Gino with a kick save. One ball, two strikes. Santiago getting the start at second in place of Omar Infante, who played game one.
Ramon has not gotten many starts lately.
And he got him looking. Breaking ball on the outer edge, ending the inning. No runs, a walk, one left, and you're watching Tigers baseball here tonight, presented by Bell Tire. The Twins here, top of the third in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card. How about the best September records since 2009? Only one team is better than the Tigers, and that would be the Phillies over in the National League. Tigers at 61-39 in the final month since 09. Many of those wins coming last year when they were on fire late in the season. Pedro Florimon leads it off for the Minnesota Twins. Drew Smyly back to work after a 1-2-3 second inning. And Florimon looks at a strike, 0-1. 1 for 4 with an RBI in the opener. Here's the 0-1. Foul tip. And that nailed Avila. 0-2.
What's new?
Left knee.
And Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, gracious enough to give Avila as much time as he needs to gather himself.
Knee, foot.
Double whammy.
Here's Smiley's 0-2. Florimon takes low. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Twins shortstop, who was acquired from the Baltimore system, claimed off the waiver wire last December after 8 years in the minors with the O's. He finally got a small big league chance. That has popped up. Santiago racing back to the grass right in front of Bosch. 1 out. Time now for the Bernstein Advantage scouting report. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you. And the Minnesota Twins have been really good at running with the ball on the ground. In fact, they've had 169 infield hits this year, which is the most in the major leagues, and that speaks to the type of ball club they have.
Yeah, the guy standing in the batter's box right now, Ben Revere, leads their club with 33 infield hits.
He looks to strike one. Revere grounded out to start the ball game, 0 for 1.
Revere also a real good bunter when he does decide that he wants to bunt for a hit.
Well, he's not going to do it here. He's down to the count 0-2.
And in spring training, they have a really good former player in Rod Carew, Hall of Fame player, that was an outstanding bunter who works with a lot of their guys that like to bunt the ball on the ground.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Revere goes down on strike, so throw down to complete it. And there are 2 gone. Let's go to the studio now. Time for a game break. Here's Ryan Field. All right, Ryan, thanks. So the White Sox lose again. They go out to the West Coast and suffer the same fate the Tigers did out there in Anaheim.
I can put that Mike Trousey jersey away now.
Who do you got next? Let's see, they're playing
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me decide. They've had a rough
Michael Brantley.
They've had a rough go in Cleveland lately.
Here's Jamie Carroll. He pops this one up. Let's see, Prince. Can he get there? Oh, he couldn't handle it.
I was getting ready to say, whatever you do, Santiago, don't run into him.
Prince got his glove on it. Couldn't make the over-the-shoulder grab, though.
It's a tough grab right here for first baseman. Equally as difficult on the other side of the diamond for third baseman. Running away from play. Just didn't make the play. Prince got there.
So we'll see if Carroll can take advantage of that. He had a single, stole a base in the first. And the 1-1. Rolled foul, 1-2.
If he does take advantage of it, it's will probably be in a single variety. As you brought up earlier, he does not hit many homers.
Six for his last 12. Jamie Carroll playing second base in the nightcap here. And the 1-2. It bounces it well in front of the plate and all the way to the backstop.
Here's an idea of just how shallow all the outfielders are playing. Barry in left playing very shallow, as is Jackson and Bosch. Lots of room behind them because Carroll does not hit the ball over your head. So you want to take away that single in front of you.
Minnesota's only hit so far belongs to Carroll, the single in the first. Smiley looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Low 3-2.
Minnesota has Carroll under contract for one more year. They're looking to find a double play combination with some offensive skills they're comfortable with. They're very comfortable with Carroll as a backup in the middle infield, but they'd like to find a couple of really good starters in the middle infield to build around.
Lifted to center field. It'll be routine for Jackson. It'll nestle into his glove, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Drew Smiley. Looking good tonight. The earmuffs are out here at the ballpark. By the way, here is the Ace Hardware Scott Stanpole question of the game. Do you wish the Major League Baseball regularly scheduled doubleheaders? Pretty easy one tonight. Yes, for A for yes, B for no. You text ACE, then a space, then A or B. If you like regularly scheduled doubleheaders, should they have them? Text that to 37338. A or B. Strike called on Austin Jackson as he leads things off in the bottom of the third. 1 run, 2 hits Detroit, no runs, 1 hit Minnesota. Fouled off, and it's 0-2.
Austin Jackson was threatening to dip under 300 his last at bat for the first time in a long time this year, but he singled successfully and came around to score on the Cabrera double. He sits at 301 as we speak. And yes, whatever Austin tells you, it would be an honor to hit 300.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Jackson led off yesterday with a home run, his 10th career leadoff homer. He's done it 6 times in 2012.
Well, when he scores a run, they're at their best. There is no coincidence.
And he scored a run in the first inning, coming around on the double by Cabrera. And Walters with the 2-2. Bouncing ball back to the mound. The Twins right-hander will throw him out. 1 out. That'll bring up Quentin Berry, who already has made a spectacular diving catch in the outfield to keep the Twins off the board in the first inning.
Sometimes games are won and lost in the very first inning, and that catch that Q made off the bat of Justin Morneau could have been a game saver in the first inning.
Berry usually better after his first appearance against the starting pitcher. 196 in his first plate appearance of a ball game. The rest of the way against the starter, 377. Here's the 0-1. 0-2. Berry disagreed with that one as he walks out of the box. That looked outside.
It sure did.
It's tough for rookies, man. You really can't say a whole lot, although you want to speak your piece. There's a ground ball to second. Carroll gobbles it up and throws him out. 2 gone. And so Walters now will face Cabrera with the bases empty. Miguel got him for a double to the gap in right center his first time up. Just looking up some numbers after that last RBI for Cabrera. 133 now. Just wanted to see where he would stand in the single season totals. Hank Greenberg knocked in 183 runs one year.
How many?
183.
Oh my goodness.
So Miguel's got a long way to go to catch him. Probably going to run out of time. No balls, 2 strikes. Two out, nobody on. Well, you may have heard some language from the field. We apologize for that. 0-2 the count.
There it goes.
And it's fouled off. And Cabrera barely stays alive. The double by Cabrera in the first inning. His second 2-base hit of the day. The average right now sits at 333.
And if you weren't with us when Miguel did hit that double, it gave him 40 on the season to go along with the 42 homers. And now he and Hank Greenberg are the only Tigers in their history to accomplish that in a season. 40 doubles, 40 homers.
Oh, good pitch. A breaking ball in the inside part of the plate. Cabrera caught looking. Not a whole lot he can do about that one. And a 1-2-3 inning for P.J. Walters.
since August 25th, and he's been sharp early, spotting that fastball outside. He's got a really nice breaking ball down and away from the left-handed batter, so he has done very well, but he needed some help. In the very first inning, runners on first and second. Justin Morneau hit a laser to left field, but there was cute. And he stretched out. He made a really nice play to keep a couple of runs off the board in the first inning for the Minnesota Twins.
Joe Mauer will lead things off here. Smiley goes back to the hill. Fourth inning, 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. Smiley 3 innings worth so far. 1 walk, 2 Ks, and only 1 hit. And the first pitch is a strike call.
Something that Joe Mauer will do with regularity. He will take the first pitch 9 out of 10 times. He's not afraid to hit with 1 strike, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
The last time Smiley took the mound as a starter against the Twins, the Tigers backed him up with 10 runs. They beat him 10-6 back in May, and Smiley gave up 3 earnings in 5 innings in that one. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Joe Mauer.
He has had an outstanding breaking ball today. His fastball's gotten up to 92. But when he comes out of the same window, the same arm slot, same arm speed, and throws you an 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball, even a guy like Mauer will get fooled and be out in front and swing and miss.
2-2 the count. Tigers playing for a share of first place here tonight with the Angels defeating the White Sox. Chicago swept by the Angels, and so a Tiger win here tonight. We've got a dead heat in the Central Division.
West Coast was not very kind to the Chicago White Sox.
Here's the 2-2. Mauer lofts it in the air to center, straight at Jackson. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the sharpness of Drew Smiley as he goes after Joe Mauer here. Needed 5 pitches to do so. He spots the fastball, comes back with a really good breaking ball. As a matter of fact, a couple of good breaking balls. Then he got him to fly out harmlessly to Jackson with a fastball inside. So he continues to move the baseball all around the strike zone.
Josh Willingham will stand in.
That was our Bill Tire. Pitch by pitch, by the way.
Don't forget the sponsor.
Oh, you can't forget about Bill Tire. They've been with us since day one, haven't they?
They have. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. Willingham had a base on balls back in the first. Smiley's 1-1. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Josh Willingham. Florida, Washington, and Oakland, his previous stops. Willingham last year very nearly knocked in 100 runs. He had 98. He has reached that level this year with 110. Chopper back up the middle. Santiago with the backhand. Willingham is out. It's 9 straight retired by Smiley. Here's Justin Morneau. Morneau hit a line drive that looked like it was going to score 2 runs back in the first inning. This time he'll shoot one to right center field. That's going to drop, base hit. 2-out single. So the tying run is on with 2 away.
For the most part, they have thrown a lot of fastballs to Morneau today. And the left-handers in particular, that time he goes down to the bottom of the zone and gets a breaking ball, and he stays hot. He's been really hot the last 72 games for Minnesota.
Here is Ryan Doman. floats in for a strike. 0-1 on Doman.
Drew Smyly looks like he has not missed a beat. He has looked sharp out there tonight.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doman, former Pittsburgh Pirate, in fact, was their opening day catcher last year. Twins signed him to a 2-year extension earlier this season. And the 1-1. Driven in the air to center field. Going to be routine, though, for Jackson. And that is that. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Drew Smyly in a groove tonight. Here at Comerica Park tonight. It's time for the AT&T trivia question this evening. What do we have? Which team has played the most doubleheaders since 2009? Most doubleheaders since 2009. Try and figure that one out. We'll give you the answer in a little bit. In the meantime, Prince Fielder will lead things off, then Delman Young and Brennan Bosch. Prince a fly out, 0 for 1. Takes ball 1 low. 3 for 7 now in the series for Prince. Walter's 1-0 pitch is inside. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0. Shallow left center. Gonna drop. Base hit. Prince goes the other way. Leadoff single.
It's a fastball inside that crowds Prince. He doesn't barrel it up. He kind of gets it on the label, but he's so strong and physical, able to fight that baseball off into shallow center field.
And for the Tigers, their 3rd hit of the night. We'll bring up Delman Young, who struck out in the 1st. Ball 1 to Delman. Young knocked in one of the Tigers' runs in that 1st game. They had only 2 runs. Young knocked one in with a single in the 4th. Low, 2-0.
Well, fasten your seatbelts here. If PJ decides to throw Delman a fastball that he can get to. This is the count that hitters live for.
And he popped it up.
He sure did.
First base side, Morneau. Delman is out.
87-mile-per-hour fastball that looked like it split the plate, but it was up in the zone, and Delman couldn't catch up to it.
It'll bring up Bosch. He bounced out over 1. Walters made a start against the Tigers back in May, and he beat Detroit despite giving up 3 home runs. They were all solo shots. Bosch hit one of them. Cabby had one, and Dirks had the other.
Well, at least the fans ate good that night. They got Arby's.
They did indeed. That's fouled off.
Always trying to find a positive spin.
We may get there tonight. Still plenty of time. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brennan. Missed it inside, and now the count goes to 2-1. Walters, 27 years old, a native of Alabama. Grounded foul off the end of the bat. 2-2 the count. Here's the Mazda scouting report this evening. Since August the 24th, the Tigers, how about this? They're 0-10 in 1-run games. The tight ones they just have not been able to pull out. If it's been decided by 2 runs or more, much different story. 12-4. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Carroll flips to second. There's one. Relay to first. Safe at first base. Wasn't hit hard enough to turn it over quickly, and Bosch has that good speed, beat it out.
It's a nice firm feed by Carroll, the second baseman, to Flormone, the shortstop, and Flormone's able to clear his body out of contact from Prince Fielder and gets a strong throw off to first base, but Bosch gets there. Ooh, or did he?
Oh.
Don't make a liar out of me.
It looked like he might have beaten it. Or the throw might have beaten it. In any event, he's at first with 2 outs. Here's Peralta. And Johnny gets time at home plate.
Looked like Bosch may have gotten the benefit of the call here. But the Tigers will take it, no doubt.
They have not gotten the benefit of too many calls at first base recently. There's ball 1 to Peralta. Johnny flied out to right field. That was back in the second. Strike called.
If Walters forgets about Brendan Bosch at first base, Bosch has the ability to steal a bag. And every now and then, Jim Leland will put him on his own.
Six steals this year for Bosch. He slings one home, but he missed it low. Two and one. That's rolled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Johnny. Well, the Twins may be struggling this year, and this has not been the type of season they were hoping for, but they have won some games here at Comerica. In fact, they've won 5 of 8 in this ballpark, including the first game of this doubleheader. And now time is called. Here comes the trainer to look at Walters. He may have hurt himself on that last pitch. Brian Honora, the home plate umpire, walks out to the mound with the whole crew to make sure this is a medical visit. Let's take a look at that last pitch. Nothing out of the ordinary. And so Walters has told his trainer and his manager he's all right. 2-2 the count on Johnny Peralta. Swing and a miss. And down he goes. So Peralta is out. So are the Tigers. 4 strikeouts for Walters. 4 in the books here at Comerica. 1-0 Detroit. Tigers game 2 in this doubleheader, and the Twins won the opener. Here's the AT&T trivia question again. Which team has played the most doubleheaders since 2009? And the answer is the Tigers, of course. They played 12 since 09.
How about that?
Had no idea. Well, they're trying to earn a split in this doubleheader. And the Twins will send Plouffe, Carson, and Florimon to the plate against Drew Smyly, who at one point had retired 9 straight before Morneau singled in the 4th. And he has given up just 2 hits, has Drew, and now he'll have a quick chat with Avila before we start things off here in the 5th inning. This has been pretty impressive so far from Drew Smyly.
It really has. His strikes to balls ratio is not all that glamorous, but he has made some quality pitches, and for the most part he has not made any mistakes over the heart of the dish. Good breaking ball, spotting his fastball, an occasional changeup.
Ball 1 to Trevor Plouffe. Strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Here's the 1-0. And that's it for a strike. 1-1.
And Trevor Plouffe is the definition of a pull hitter. One of the reasons why the batting average is just .235, but he does have some pop in that bat to the pull field.
Checked it. This should be a strike, and it is. Upon further review, Chad Fairchild called it a strike.
Chad Fairchild all bundled up down there at first base tonight.
And the 1-2. Checked it again. Did he go? How about Chad? No, he said he held up this time. Pretty close. 2-2 on Trevor Plouffe. Ball high, 3-2. Matt Carson waiting on deck, and then Pedro Florimon. Grounded toward third foul. 3-2 the count stays on Plouffe, who is now 1 for 9 in the series. Al Albuquerque warming up in the Detroit bullpen. And he walked him. So Smiley ends up walking the leadoff man. That'll be his second base on balls of the night. Well, the Subway Sub Prize on the line is the Central Division standings. And again, if the Tigers win here tonight, they pull into a first place tie with Chicago, who just days ago had a 3-game lead over the Tigers. And it just goes to show you how quickly ground can be made up.
That's right.
Here is Matt Carson. 0-1 on Carson. He popped up to the second baseman Santiago, who made a nice running play. Get away from Avila, but not far enough. Carson big league time with Oakland in 2009, 2010. The rest of his days have been spent in the minor leagues. Parts of 10 seasons in the minors. The 1-1 way high, 2 balls and 1 strike. '73 pitches now thrown by Smiley. The last time he's thrown anywhere near this many was in that start late August against the Angels.
Which means Jim Leyland not going to stay with him much longer in this game. He'll obviously try to get him through the 5th, which would put Smiley in an area where he could win the game if the score stays as it is.
The 2-1 ground ball back up the middle into center field, a base hit out of the reach of Peralta. Plouffe on his way to second, pulls in there. Carson has a single, 2 on, nobody out.
Looked like Peralta had him shaded up the middle, a couple of steps and a dive, could not make the play, and now the Minnesota Twins are in business here in the 5th. Runners on first and second and nobody out, and their shortstop Florimon at the dish in a bunting situation should they want to bunt.
Smiley gets a visit from Jeff Jones. His speed range in this one a high of 93. Brought to you by Xfinity. We'll see how the Twins want to play it here with the number 9 hitter coming up. Go ahead run at first base.
Florimon has a couple of sack bunts in the 33 games that he's played this year.
The possibility has the Tigers infield bunching at the corners. Or pinching, to be more accurate. And he is showing bunt, lays it down right back in the mound, and they'll get the out at first. Oh, he's safe. He pulled him off the bag.
That's a mental mistake there by Drew Smiley. Did not step and throw after he made the play on the bunt. That's why you step, you throw, you lead with that front shoulder, you get on top of it, and you make a good throw to your second baseman. He threw flat-footed pretty much and just didn't. And get on top of the baseball.
Sacrifice E1. now they are loaded up with nobody out. Top of the order coming up, Ben Revere. First error of the ball game for either team. And Revere looks at ball one. Strikeout, ground out for Revere, who had a big game in the opener, 3 for 4, but nothing doing so far tonight. There's a strike on the outer edge, 1-1. Plouffe, Karsten, and Florimon, the base runners. Bouncing ball first base side. Prince has it, comes home with it. There's one. And they'll get the force at home. That's a start, 1 away.
It's a real nice job there by Fielder at making sure that once he fielded the ball cleanly, he made a really good, strong, firm throw to Avila to get the one out. And Avila didn't force the issue by trying to return the throw back to Fielder at first base. Not with Revere running.
It's going to be it for Smiley. He'll give up the baseball. Wallside Windows pitching change. He departs with the bases full. Tigers go to the bullpen. Here comes Albuquerque. Are loaded with 1 out for Minnesota. Drew Smiley is done for the night, and he will hope that Albuquerque can stem the tide here.
Albuquerque has logged 3 2/3 innings so far this year, but that 9 in that strikeout column is a welcome sight. The opponent's batting average is very low against Albuquerque, just as it was last year.
And so Albuquerque will face Jamie Carroll. Single, steal, and a fly ball for Carroll. Infield playing for 2 up the middle. Try to hold up. It gets through Avila, but not far enough. Carson thought about it, but decided not to come.
Here's one of the reasons why Jim had no problem bringing Albuquerque in with the bases loaded last year. Only 3 of the 31 runners scored when Albuquerque came into the game and inherited some base runners. He's inherited 3 here in the 5th inning.
0-1 on Carroll, who usually does a pretty good job of putting the bat on the ball and putting it in play. So an interesting matchup here.
It sure is.
The 0-1. And again, Avila has to block it.
that is some kind of confidence there by Albuquerque to throw the first couple of breaking balls at the bottom of the zone, knowing that his catcher, Avila, is going to do everything possible in trying to make sure that that pitch or that ball stays in front of him.
One run, 3 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 3 hits for the Twins. We're in the 5th. And that's in for a strike. 1-2.
Carroll took the breaking ball that he probably could have put in play. That was not a strikeout pitch there, or his best slider. His best slider is that one that darts down and away.
And the 1-2. Ground ball to third. Cabrera has it, comes home. There's one. Relay to first. He threw it away. 1 run will score. They're going to try and get 2 in, and now caught between third and home and out at third base. Boy, was that wild. In the end, the Twins get a run on the wild throw, 1-1.
Timely manner to get the force out at home plate with the bases loaded. Avila thought he could get Carroll, and he threw the ball to first base, and it looked like he was clipped there by the base runner, which caused him into throwing the ball up in the air. Look at the slide here. He gets a piece of him, and that's why Alex Avila threw that ball as high as he did right there.
Revere thought he could score on the play and then had to hustle back, and he was out.
I was kind of wondering why that throw was such a poor throw by Avila, but after getting another look at it, we know exactly why it was a poor throw.
Unfortunately, Alex will get an error. It goes as a fielder's choice E2. Revere out at third, 9-1-5 if you're keeping score. 1-1 ball game. Avila sends a slow ground ball left side of the infield. Cut off at third base. Quick throw in time. Nice play by Plouffe. One out for Santiago. Ramon struck out back in the second. Strike one. Lifted in the air. Center field. Ben Revere going over. And there are 2 gone. Now Jackson, the leadoff man. Tigers got a run against P.J. Walters in the first inning. 3 batters into the bottom of the first. They had a run. But he's kept them off the board since, and he misses 1 ball, no strikes.
And Walters came in and giving up a lot of runs in the month of September in 3 starts.
And you can even stretch that out a little bit farther. 4 or more earned runs at 5 of his last 6. So they had been getting to the Twins right-hander, but tonight only 3 hits. Strike called in the outside corner. 2-1. Single, ground out for Jackson. 1 for 2, and a run scored. 3-1. Tigers got a run in the first. Twins tied up with a run in the top of the 5th. Here's the 3-1, and it's drilled towards center field. On the move, Revere, and he'll come in to make the play off the end of the bat. Inning over. 1-2-3 inning for P.J. Walters.
Way from a defensive standpoint. Here's some plays in that very first game. Infante doesn't make a play at second. Dirks with a tough play in left. He doesn't make that play. And in a situation where Villarreal should have tagged Morneau, who was trying to score, he didn't. He thought it was a forced play. And then here's game 2, a sacrifice bunt. Not a good throw here by Smiley. And unfortunately for Avila here, he was clipped by the base runner who was running home, who took him out, which caused him to throw the ball down in the right field corner, which allowed them to score the only run of the game.
So it is a 1-1 ball game, and the Tigers 18 in 15 games against the Twins, unearned runs. White Sox all season long 29, which is the fewest in Major League Baseball, and that points to the defense, which has been one of the big differences between the top 2 teams in the Central. Albuquerque goes back to work, and he's facing Joe Mauer. Josh Willingham and then Justin Morneau. He'll try and navigate through the middle of the Minnesota lineup. Each team 1 run, 3 hits. The difference, the Tigers have committed 2 miscues tonight. Now the 1-0. Strike call. 1-1 on Mauer. Mauer is 6th all-time in walks in Twins history, 7th in hits. 8th in doubles. And the 1-1. Now we're over 1,200 hits in his major league career so far. And the 2-1. Strike called. 2-2 on Mauer, who has a little silent protest there for Brian O'Nora.
Well, several players today have had disagreements with the strikes that have been called by Brian O'Nora. Fielder, Berry, now Mauer.
Bouncer right back to the mound. Albuquerque will toss him out. One away. To the studio we go for a game break. Here's Ryan Field. Ryan, thank you. Here it is a tight one as well. 1-1 is our score as we play in the 6th.
And both the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles had winning streaks snapped today. Yankees were at 6 in a row. Baltimore was at 5 in a row.
Oakland in that tough trip that they're taking down the stretch here. Of course, it started in Detroit, going to New York and then Texas. Willingham is 0 for 1 with a walk. One right through that one in 96 from Albuquerque.
Most of the close races are in the American League. A lot of the stuff has already been decided in the senior circuit.
Yeah, Giants clinched, Reds clinched,
Washington clinched.
American League, a much different story. Ground ball left side. Cabrera can't get it into left field. 1 out single.
Hey fans, you can swing for the fences during fantasy batting practice at Comerica Park this Friday. Hit pitches thrown by former Tiger Dave Rozema. Call 313-471-2550 or visit tigers.com.
You know what would be fun to watch? The fantasy campers batting against Justin Verlander.
That would be no fun for them. It'd be fun for us.
It'd be great. It'd be hilarious for us. There's a line drive to left. That's a base hit for Morneau.
Morneau has just continued to swing that stick. And you have to give him some credit for jumping on the fastball, because if you allow Albuquerque to get ahead of you, you know you're going to get that legitimate swing and miss slide piece that he features. You know, we were commenting on teams that have already clinched in the National League, but one of the things that we have witnessed the last number of years is not so much who clinches early, but it's the team that's hot down the stretch that gets in. Those teams seem to go deeper into the playoffs.
I agree, and I think a lot of managers would agree. It's nice to be able to kind of get it settled early and maybe settle your rotation to how you want to go into the playoffs. But boy, that if you clinch with a couple of weeks to go, you then have to crank it up again once the playoffs start. Big swing there by Doman. Wild card won the World Series last year. Wild card won the World Series in 06 when the Tigers went against the Cardinals. Angels were a wild card in 02. There's a lot of examples. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Doman is out of there. Albuquerque, a big strikeout, 2 gone.
That slider is absolutely filthy. It is one of the best sliders in the game for a right-handed pitcher. It stays on the fastball plane about 5 feet from home plate, and then all of a sudden just disappears on the left-handers and the right-handers. It is good to see him back and healthy.
What a weapon.
What an addition to that bullpen.
Here's Plouffe. Swing and a miss. Willingham a single. Morneau a single. They have 2 runners aboard. Here's the 0-1. Another slider that missed low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped him up. Behind the plate, Avila charging back to the screen, out of play.
Albuquerque can go a couple of different ways here with Trevor Plouffe. He's got 95 in his back pocket as far as the fastball is concerned. Or he can simply throw another slider up there. In the back of the mind of Plouffe, he's looking for the slider. So if Albuquerque was to throw him a fastball, I doubt very seriously whether Plouffe could even get the bat off his shoulders if he throws it for a strike.
Slider high. 2-2. Pretty good ratio. Of the 20 that Al has thrown, 14 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Albuquerque strikes out Doman and Plouffe. And the Twins leave 2 men on the bases. No runs, couple of singles, 2 left.
Quentin Berry leading off the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Tigers. And back in the 1st inning with runners on 1st and 2nd. Q stretched out on a line drive off the bat of Justin Morneau. And he prevented them from scoring 2 runs in the 1st inning. And that catch right now is looming large.
That it is. It kept the Twins off the board in the 1st. It'll be Quentin leading it off here in the 6th. Barry Cabrera, fielder. Quentin is 0 for 2, but in the month of September, a .318 average. Breaking ball on the outside corner, and now it's 0-2. Pop up and a ground out for Quentin in this game to go with his great catch. And we get into center field, and Barry aboard here to start things off in the 6th.
Sometimes you can make a decent pitch, as Walters appeared to do there. It's a changeup. It's at the bottom of the zone, and Q goes down to get it with 2 strikes and hits it sharply up the middle of the infield for a single. And as you know now, Q singles usually turn into doubles.
Barry is 20 for 20 in stolen base attempts. Here is Cabrera. MVP chance. Ball one inside.
It's about time the Tigers figured out P.J. Walters, who came in giving up lots of crooked numbers in his last 5 starts. But the Tigers have only had 4 hits against them today and scored just 1 run. That 1 run driven in by, you guessed it, the guy in the batter's box right now.
So Walters now has to deal with Cabrera, fielder, after the leadoff single. Middle of the lineup coming up for Detroit in a 1-1 game in the 6th. And Barry draws the throw.
Miguel Cabrera has won Player of the Month awards twice as a Tiger in his career, and if he's able to do it again, it will be the only Tiger to ever accomplish that. 3 Player of the Month awards.
Popped him up. Right side of the infield to the grass. Carroll. And so he disposes of 1 big hitter. Well, as we check out the Jimmy John's leaderboard, and since the 2004 season, Miguel Cabrera has knocked in 1,055 runs.
Those guys get after it. They all drive Cadillacs too.
1 on, 1 out.
Power hitters. Run producers.
Fielder looks at ball 1. .306 for Prince on the season. He's 1 out of 2 in this game. Angels beat the White Sox 4-1. White Sox are swept out in L.A., so the Tigers can tie them for first with a win here tonight. And there's a ball inside. 2-0.
And with Barry being held on at first base, we just gave you a shot of the right side of the infield. If Prince chose to do so on the 2-0 count, he could look to pull something through that hole, which would get Barry over to third base. But I think Prince in the 2-0 count looking to hit something in the seats.
Instead, back up the middle into center, a base hit. Barry will go to second and stop there. And the Tigers in business now with 1 out.
I had a conversation with Craig Monroe last night, and Craig was telling me that he had a conversation with Prince Fielder, and Prince was telling him just how much Comerica Park has made him a better hitter. The fact that he's not in Miller Park in Milwaukee, where the ball does not fly as frequently as it does in that ballpark. He has learned how to use the entire baseball field, and because of that, it looked like he's going to hit 300 for the first time in his major league career.
The other thing we saw evidence of early on in the season, when American League pitchers were staying away from Prince Fielder, he simply was not trying to do too much and took what they gave him, and many times he had base hits to left, base hits up the middle.
Well, they have a wonderful teacher in their dugout. And not a knock on Lloyd McClendon in any shape or form, but if you just watch Miguel Cabrera every single day and the way that he takes batting practice, the way that he approaches right-handers and left-handers, you can learn something from a guy like Miguel. And join us again tomorrow when the Tigers welcome the Kansas City Royals. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers Baseball tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. The Kansas City Royals, they're probably in town already.
They were beaten up by Cleveland today at home, 15-4. So here is Delman Young. 2 on, 1 out, 1-1 game. Breaking ball, and he swings through it. 0-1 on Delman.
All 3 of Delman's plate appearances here tonight, he has been led off by a breaking ball from P.J. Walters.
Another one that missed outside, and Delman laid off it.
Delman has been coming up clutch in these types of situations where there's been a couple of men aboard. Many times he's trotted around the base paths.
Knocked in a run in game one with a single. Bouncing ball to short. This might be 2. 6, 4, 3.
Boy, oh boy.
A double play ends the threat, and we are on our way to the 7th. How about Walters tonight? Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's new hot turkey roasters. It's the greatest thing since sliced roast beef. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here in the Motor City as we go to the top of the 7th, game 2 in this doubleheader. The Tigers won and the Twins won. Each team with 5 hits. Albuquerque back to the mound. Carson, Florimon, and Revere will be set to face him. Albuquerque gave up 2 singles in the 6th, but then he struck out Domit and Plouffe to end the inning. And Matt Carson stands in 1 for 2. Carson sends a ground ball to third. Cabrera charging on the play, 1 gone. 1 pitch, 1 gone.
Ball hit something, took a little bit of a tricky hop there and before it got to Miguel. But he turned it into a rather routine play.
Here is Florimon. Ball 1 outside. Sack bunt in the 5th inning. But he reached on the throwing error by Drew Smiley. There's a strike, 1-1 the count. More action in the Detroit bullpen. Octavio Dotel and Phil Koch. Ugly swing there.
That's that slider. Mom be home soon. Can't hit that slider.
This one bounced in though.
That play just filthy, man. It's filthy.
And the 1-2. Oh, he got him. Strike 3. Florimon says, "Con." 96 miles an hour on the outer edge. And Brian O'Nora said, "Yep, caught the corner."
Even if that pitch was right down the middle of the plate, Florimon would not have been able to do anything with it. And because he was looking for another slider.
Ooh. May have been a touch outside, but oh well. Albuquerque gets another strikeout, his third. Here is Ben Revere now with 2 outs. There's a ball high. Albuquerque came on in the 5th. He's pitched through the 6th and now trying to get the Tigers through the 7th. In there, a strike call, 1-1. Revere reaching on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Otherwise a strikeout and a ground out. A much more quiet second game than the opener in which he was 3 for 4. The 2-1 slap foul, 2-2. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2-2 on Ben Revere. Oh, he wanted to ring him up, it looked like. Nora held back though, flinched a little bit. 3-2. Just a bit inside. Bouncing ball right side. Prince has it go right through him into right field. 2-out base runner.
That's a play right there. If Prince Fielder could do it all over again, he probably would go over and he would backhand the ball instead of getting in front of it. And then it would be a much easier play for Prince. He tried to get in front of it. The ball trickled off to the right side of his right thigh. But had he just simply went over and backhanded it, he would have been in position to lead Albuquerque to the bag.
It's going to be the 3rd Tigers error of the game, E3. Now we'll see if Revere is in a running mood. Carroll sends a ground ball right to the bag. It's a foul ball. Ooh, right at Prince, who says, I caught it right here in fair ground. Here comes Jim Leland. Chad Fairchild is right there. It sure looked fair.
Well, if he caught it in front of the bag, it's the home plate umpire's call. Where did he catch it at?
Well, it hit chalk.
Is it in front of the bag?
Yeah.
And maybe they will get a different view here from Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire. In front of the bag, it's the home plate umpire's call. Behind the bag, the first base umpire's call. But they're not going to talk about it at all.
Jamie Carroll with a count of 0-1.
Quite frankly, I'm a little surprised that they did not talk about that. Are you?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Chad Fairchild was right there. And it sure looked like Prince caught it. It certainly hit chalk down the line.
And Prince was pointing toward home plate. He was trying to get Chad Fairchild into talking to Brian O'Nora about it, but they didn't.
Swing and a miss.
if you're Ben Revere, it's not a bad time to run. He doesn't get thrown out all that often, but even if he does get thrown out, Jamie Carroll's got a fresh count in the top half of the 8th inning. He's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And more than likely, it's going to be a breaking ball from Albuquerque. 64% of the pitches that Albuquerque has thrown since coming into the game have been sliders.
Runner goes. Lifted in the air to right. And that's going to be caught by Bosch. Inning is over. And we go to the stretch.
Summary, the Tigers earned their run back in the first inning. It was a double off the out-of-town scoreboard to right center field off the big fella's bat. But then the Minnesota Twins were able to tie the score in the 5th, and they got a little bit of a gift run as the bases loaded. Give the base runners some credit here. That would be Carson, who clipped Avila, trying to complete the double play after Cabrera had given him a nice feed. They were able to score a run, but they eventually got Ben Revere caught in a rundown for the 3rd out of the inning.
So we have a new pitcher now for Minnesota. That would be Brian Dunsing. The left-hander will take over for the Twins.
He's lost 10 games this year. He's 1-4. The ERA is 4.77, 63 strikeouts, and 102 innings against 25 walks for Brian Dunsing. Left-handers hitting .237 against him. Right-handers, they're above 300.
So the Tigers will make a move of their own. Avisail Garcia will pinch hit for Brendan Bosch.
As you know by now, fans, every game counts. The Tigers will battle the Kansas City Royals Monday through Thursday at Comerica Park. The tickets are still available. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Winding down the home schedule. 4 more to go against the Kansas City Royals. And the Tigers close out the year on the road into Minnesota, into KC. It's going to be fun. Tigers trying to win here tonight to tie up Chicago for first place in the Central. So here's Garcia now batting for Bosch. Avisail is 7 for his last 12. And he looks at ball 1 from Dunsing. 6 strong innings tonight out of P.J. Walters. Twins have to be ecstatic what they got out of him tonight.
Who would have thunk that coming in with the numbers that Walters had posted in the month of September?
Ground ball back up the middle, and Garcia's done it again.
His last 3 hits have gone right back up the middle. Single variety.
Now has a 6-game hitting streak. The Tigers have the go-ahead runner on now. We're in the 7th in a 1-1 ball game. Johnny Peralta will step in. Johnny strikeout and a flyout. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. He has had a long history against Dunsing, and that history has been a really good one. 440. 11 for 25 against the lefty Dunsing. Strike called, and now it's 0-2. Dunsing has been used both in the rotation and out of the bullpen, and Fonte has picked up a bat.
And Jim could use him for Avila, or he could use him for Santiago. And there is nobody warming in the Minnesota bullpen.
And the 0-2 fouled off. Avila due next, and then Santiago. We're in the 7th inning.
Jim is probably wishing he had one of his table setters up there in the bottom half of the 7th inning, where he could have sacrificed in this situation Garcia into scoring position. That is just right, not Johnny Peralta's game. Those of you wondering about that.
One and 2. Walters goes 6, gave up the run in the 1st inning on a double by Cabrera, and then shut the door the rest of the way. Although the Tigers put on 2 in the 6th inning, but a double play ball. The bat of Delman Young ended that threat. Twins got their run in the 5th inning. And Garcia, the rookie, has led it off with a pinch hit single here in the 7th. Now Dunsing stepping off. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Peralta is gone 1 away.
Just about everything they've thrown Peralta today, whether it be the first game of the doubleheader or the nightcap, has been either fastballs inside or breaking balls that are down and in.
So Avila will hit here with 1 on 1 out. Alex a walk and a ground out. And he fouls one back, 0-1. Dunsing began last year in the starting rotation for the Minnesota Twins. Working out of the bullpen these days. And the 0-1. Right back up the middle. Florimone tags the bag one. And a double play. Double play in the 6th. Double play in the 7th. Tigers turned away as we go to the 8th. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Well, it's a 1-1 ball game as we go to the 8th inning. 1 run, 5 hits for Minnesota. 1 run, 6 hits for the Tigers. Garcia stays in the game, and he'll play right field. And the Tigers as well have a new pitcher on. It's Joaquin Benoit.
Well, they need to keep the score right where it's at to allow the offense to somehow perk up and at least score 1 run in this game. And Benoit has been on point lately. Their right-hander's 202 against Benoit. And lefty's not a whole lot better, just 240. And Benoit will feature that fastball that will get up to 95, 96 miles an hour. He's got a pretty good breaking ball and an outstanding changeup to go along with those other 2 pitches.
2 out of 10 against Benoit for Joe Mauer. One of those hits was a home run.
You have to be careful here on the first pitch. We've told you and we've well documented the fact that at least 93, 94% of the time Mauer will take the first pitch, but every now and then if he thinks he's going to get a fastball, he'll jump on it.
And it's in for a strike. Joe Mauer is 0 for 3 in this game. After a big first game in which he knocked in 4, neither team able to do a whole lot offensively in this game. Tigers have committed 3 errors and knocked into a couple of double plays.
It's a lethal combination.
Yeah, not good indeed. Here is Benoit's 0-1. Bounce again.
But yet, if they're somehow able to win this game, that'll all be forgotten. They'll be tied for first place with the Chicago White Sox, who got swept in Los Angeles.
Now the 1-1. Just off the plate, 2 balls, 1 strike. Smiley started, did good work tonight. Albuquerque came on, and now Benoit. And this ball game will be decided by the bullpens. Two-1 to Mauer. Tapped toward first. That's a foul ball. Two on Joe Mauer. Minnesota has some activity. Jared Burton. Kevin Rand has to tend to Brian O'Nora.
Hey fans, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
What's Prince doing there?
I wasn't watching him, to be honest with you.
He's like snapping his fingers by his ears. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mauer. And a high drive toward left center field. Berry and Jackson converge, and Berry to the running track. Mauer made a bid the opposite field but fell short.
That may have been a home run in the first game of the doubleheader today. Anything that was flying out to left field with the brisk pace that the wind was blowing out in that direction had a chance of getting out.
Here is Josh Willingham.
Speaking of homers, he's done it 35 times this year, and he's driven 110.
In there for strike 1. Willingham had a single in his last at bat, a walk in his first at bat. Scored a run in game 1. He is 0 for 2 career against Benoit. Not much history. Way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Before last year, Willingham's experience came in the National League with Florida and Washington.
He's had no problem. 29 homers last year in Oakland.
And 35 more this year. The 1-1. Justin Morneau waiting on deck. High fly ball center field, routine for Jackson. 2 outs.
It's a nice job of pitching there by Benoit. If you're going to get beat by Willingham, you want him to beat you to straightaway center field or to right field, where he does not have nearly the same kind of power that he does to left field.
Morneau against Benoit is 3 for 13, 9 strikeouts. A couple of hits today from Morneau. Ball 1. And Morneau could have had 3 hits had he not been robbed by Quentin Berry way back in the first inning. Average up to 276. And the 1-0. On the outer edge, 1-1 on Morneau. Benoit came in tied for 6th among American League relievers with 78 strikeouts this year. Here's his 1-1. High, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Benoit has enough confidence in his secondary pitches not to give in here to Morneau in a fastball count. And here comes that changeup.
Swing and a miss.
It's a beautiful weapon. There are a lot of guys in the major leagues that don't have enough confidence in their secondary stuff to throw an off-speed pitch in a fastball count because they just don't have confidence in that pitch, but Benoit not one of those.
Fouled away. Two out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 8th inning in a 1-1 game. Final game in this series. That's outside. Run it full now. 3-2. And should Morneau reach, Ryan Doman waiting on deck.
Same situation applies to the 2-1 count. He can go change up. He could go slider. Or he can go 96 with his fastball.
High fly ball left field, not very deep. Berry coming in, and 3 fly ball outs for Joaquin Benoit. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, and you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
For the Minnesota Twins this evening, and he had a pretty good curveball. He kept the Tigers off balance all evening long. He threw a total of 90 pitches in this game, and 36 of which were out of the strike zone. So he strategically just kind of kept the ball out of the zone, kept the Tigers off balance. They couldn't hit the curveball, did not get really good swings at the changeup, and Walters gave up just 1 run to the Tigers, and that was in the very first inning.
So here we go in the bottom of the 8th, and we have a pinch hitter. It's Omar Infante batting for Santiago. Infante in game 1 was 1 for 4. And he drives one toward left field, and it is caught on a line right at Willingham. Hit it hard, 1 gone. Going to bring up the top of the order. Austin Jackson will stand in. It was a good start to the night for Jackson. He singled way back in the first and then eventually scored 2 batters later when Cabrera doubled him in. Check swing ruled outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dunsing came on in the 7th. Gave up a hit but got a double play ball. That's in for a strike, 1-2. Just off the plate inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Quentin Berry waiting his turn. 2-2 on Austin Jackson. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. 2 gone. Dunsing, his 2nd strikeout.
The previous pitches to Austin Jackson in this pitch sequence were all at the top of the zone, whether it be a fastball or whether it be the changeup that Dunsing is featured. Then he changes eye level by going to the bottom of the zone with that big bender, and he got Jackson to swing and miss.
So here's Berry trying to get something started. Singled back in the 6th. And he taps one foul behind home plate, 0-1. Quentin had 1 of 2 hits in the 6th inning for Detroit, but a double play ended that frame. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, little pop up, and caught by Dunsing. That'll end the inning. It's a 1-2-3-8 for the Minnesota lefty. In a 1-1 ball game here in the 9th inning. Cabrera, the 2nd Tiger with 40 doubles, 40 homers. He joins Hank Greenberg, the runners in scoring position for both games and both teams in this doubleheader. And the Tigers 18 unearned runs in 15 games against the Twins this year. So Joaquin Benoit goes back to the hill facing Ryan Domit here in the 9th inning. And Domit takes ball 1 high. 1 run, 6 hits for Detroit. 1 run, 5 hits for Minnesota.
And Benoit threw only 16 pitches in the 8th inning, which meant no problem for Jim Leyland to run him back out there for 1 more.
He pops it in the air. Left side of the infield. To the grass goes Peralta.
All 4 of the outs that Benoit has recorded since coming into the game have been in the air.
Infante staying in the game to play second base. Here is Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe has fanned a couple of times in this game. He's also drawn a walk. Ball one from Benoit. 4 up, 4 down against the Tigers reliever. Outside, 2-0. Glenn Perkins is in the bullpen along with Burton. So Burton and Perkins warming up. Swing and a miss. 2-1 on Plouffe. Tigers, when we get to the bottom of the 9th inning, will have the heavy artillery: Cabrera, Fielder, Young. And the hope is it remains a 1-1 game. Fouled off. 2-2 on Plouffe. Benoit ready with the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a tip into the glove for strike 3. 2 gone. He fell behind him 2-0 and comes back to strike him out.
Well, Benoit knew even though he fell behind Plouffe, 2 balls, no strikes, Plouffe would be looking to hit the ball at the ballpark. So the next 3 pitches were all away from Plouffe, and he swung through the last one.
He's going to bring up Matt Carson. Singled back in the 5th inning. One of the 5 hits the Twins have had tonight. Swing and a miss. Tiger bullpen again tonight doing a solid job. Twins' only run coming on a throwing error by Avila. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Benoit trying to make it 6 up, 6 down since coming on in the 8th. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2 on Matt Carson. Deadly. Here comes the crowd now. Almost 40,000 here for the nightcap. And the 1-2. Fouled off. Should Carson reach, Florimone, the number 9 hitter, is waiting on deck. One ball, 2 strikes on Matt Carson. 2 out here in the 9th inning. All 5 that Benoit has faced so far have been retired. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Benoit stomps off the mound. Another 1-2-3 inning And for the Tigers in the bottom of the ninth, Cabrera, followed by Fielder, and then Young. Heavy artillery coming up. Ability since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. Like us on Facebook and enter the contest for a chance to win great prizes. Well, back here at the ballpark, we're going to the bottom of the ninth inning in a 1-1 tie, and the Tigers will have Cabrera leading it off. And they've been dancing and having fun here tonight. 39,000 plus, and we'll see if the Tigers can walk off a winner tonight. Miggy for MVP. They'll be facing a new pitcher here in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's Jared Burton.
He's done nice work out of that bullpen for Ron Gardner. He comes in with a 2.04 ERA, 49 strikeouts, 14 walks. And right-handed batters hitting just 157 against him, but he is facing the best right-handed batter in all of baseball right now in Miguel Cabrera.
The former Cincinnati Red goes to work now against Cabrera. Double and an RBI in this game. And the fans are on their feet. First pitch is hammered back out of play, 0-1. 133 RBIs and just a little bit of history between these two. Cabrera 1 for 3 against Burton. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Miguel. From the 7th inning and beyond, Cabrera does some of his best work. 16 of his 42 home runs have been hit 7th inning or later. And the crowd hoping to go home happy tonight. The 0-2. Ball high, 1-2 on Miguel. Tigers win tonight. They're in a first place tie with Chicago. High pop up, shallow right field. Carson coming in, and Cabrera is out. One away. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. A couple of hits tonight for the Prince, both singles. And his average up at a solid 308. Runs have been hard to come by here tonight in game 2. Smiley and Walters started this game. Both pitched well. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Burton up until this year was pitching out of the Reds bullpen. He has seen Fielder 5 times and Prince 2 for 5 against him. Two. Swing and a miss, and down goes Fielder. 2 gone.
Fans, you know the drill by now. As soon as this game ends, our coverage will continue with Tigers Live. You will hear from the manager, Jim Leland. Plus, we will break down the game and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game from the Call Sam Studios right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Jose Valverde is up in the Detroit bullpen.
Burton throwing nothing but strikes, able to get ahead of Miguel. No balls, 2 strikes, and did the same thing against Fielder before striking him out.
See if this one stays in play. Morneau heading back toward the railing, and he dropped it. No, it hit the railing. Ooh, we'll see if Delman can take advantage of that. Should have been an out.
Yes, it should have been.
They've ruled in an error on Morneau.
Morneau had a lot more room than he thought he had.
Now could Delman make him pay? Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Young. 0 for 3 in this one. Now time called as Young steps out. Burton replacing Dunsing, who went 2 innings in relief. Bouncing ball. Florimone. And Burton has himself a 1-2-3 inning as he goes through the teeth of the Tigers lineup. Extra innings here at the ballpark tonight. Beef jerky, feed your wild side. We've got extra innings here tonight as Jose Valverde now will take over as we go to the 10th.
Couple of really impressive innings by Joaquin Benoit. Now it's up to Valverde to make sure his team's in a position to walk off the Minnesota Twins tonight.
Let's get you caught up with the game summary in this one. The Tigers were able to score the first run in the first inning, and guess who? Yeah, it was Miguel Cabrera. He went to the gap in right center field, scoring Jackson, who had singled, and that made it 1-0 Detroit.
Yeah, Minnesota got themselves a gift run. It was the 5th inning and was after a Smiley error on a bunt, and then it's Matt Carson running from third base. They get the put out there, but Carson was able to clip Avila as he tried to throw the ball to Prince Fielder to complete the double play, and he threw it over Prince's head.
So on a chilly night here at the ballpark, we will have extra innings in game 2 in this doubleheader. And Denard Span is going to pinch hit for Pedro Florimon. So Valverde will face Span, Revere, and Carroll here. Span played in the first game and was hitless. In fact, he was 0 for 5. A couple of strikeouts.
He's had great numbers over his career against Tigers pitching. The best of any team that he's played against since coming to the major leagues.
And he looks at strike one from Jose.
Imperative that Papa Grande keep him off the base paths.
Span this year has pinch hit once. He's 1 for 1. Valverde in a non-save situation. As we know in the past, these have been at times bumpy situations for Jose. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pulled foul down the line at first base. Span behind in the count now, 1-2. Tigers got their only run in the first inning, and the Twins answered in the 5th. There's been nothing since for either team. Then Revere waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Span with 16 stolen bases. It's been a struggle for runs for the Tigers. They scored 4 runs, 6 hits in the first game, but were handily defeated 10-4. Got a run early in this game, but nothing since. And the 2-2. Bouncing ball right side, and it's going to find a hole. Base hit. Span is aboard with a leadoff single. He found a seam to the right side of the infield.
Well, Tigers are going to have to make a play here on the bunt. And with Ben Revere coming to the dish.
Revere has an 0 in the second game, 0 for 4.
I told you earlier that both Revere and Span real good bunters. They worked a lot with Rod Carew on bunting in spring training.
And he let the first one go by, 1-0. 5 sack bunts for Revere, 9 bunt hits.
33 infield hits for Ben Revere, which leads their club. so he can really motor.
Here's the 1-0. And he bunted that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Revere trying to bunt the ball down toward first base. Miguel Cabrera at third base has no responsibility, but Prince Fielder does have a responsibility of holding Denard Span on first base, so he can't vacate his position prematurely. Therefore, the play on this situation is to bunt in that direction, if you can.
Runner goes, and a ground ball foul.
Thank you very much. Let's hope that works into the Tigers' favor.
Tied at 1 here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, we are glad you're with us here tonight. Tigers with a chance to move into a first place tie if they can win this one. Chris Wazalewski is our producer. Brian Moss directing tonight. And the 1-2. And he missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Van Revere.
And a huge tip of the cap to the cameramen and women here today, and also everybody in the truck that has been here all day long. Doubleheader today.
Two and two. Just off the plate. 3-2 on Revere.
And no doubt Span will be on the move from first base on this next 3-2 pitch from Valverde. It looked like it was a few inches outside. Nice frame job there by Avila, but could not get the call from Brian O'Nora.
So now Span on the move, and a bouncing ball left side. Cabrera has it, and his throw is in time, so the runner advances to second with 1 out. And we'll bring up Jamie Carroll. Carroll had a single in his first at bat of the night. And we'll see what he can do now against Jose Valverde, trying to drive in the go-ahead run. He is 1 for 7 against Valverde, and 4 of those at-bats have resulted in a strikeout.
And Tom Brookins, who handles the outfielders for the Tigers, he brought a lot of the guys in because he's anticipating maybe a base hit, and he wants his guys to have an opportunity to throw Span out at home plate.
And it's ball 1 to Carroll. Twins have 6 hits in this game, all of them singles. They got the leadoff base hit from Span. He's at second now with 1 out. Low, 2-0.
Now here's another reason why they brought all the outfielders in at their respective positions. Is Carroll's not necessarily a pull hitter, but he goes up the middle. He goes the opposite way. If he does get a base hit, you're hoping it goes to Garcia in right field. He has the best arm of the trio in the outfield as we speak.
They're trying to move Garcia a little bit. Now they've got him stationed where they want him. Now the 2-0 pitch coming up to Carroll. Foul tip. And Avila caught the front of that one, unable to hang on to it. 2-1. those foul tips on a cool night like tonight will hurt a little longer.
Avila will take one of those ice baths after the game today. He told me he takes one after every game, regardless of the weather.
Two and one. And it's sliced back up the middle into center field. They're going to try and score the run. Jackson is up with it. Here's a throw to the plate. Going to be off target. Throw down to second is going to be in time. The go-ahead run scores on a Jamie Carroll single.
And Tom Brookins brought the outfielders in, but Jackson could only come in so far. And Carroll got himself into a favorable count. 2 balls, 1 strike, fastball up at the zone. He chokes up on the bat. He was able to hit the ball in the center field. Jackson came up, fired home, but not before the speedy Span was able to score.
Not sure Carroll needed to run himself into an out there.
No, he did not.
But the Tigers will take it. It's a key knock, though, and Minnesota has a 2-1 lead to bring up Mauer with the bases empty. Ooh, what was that? Valverde whiffed.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Unless he tried to hold on to it.
Yet another thing we've never seen before.
Yeah, he held on to it. Could be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Mauer in this game 0 for 4. Ball outside. 1-0 the count. Garcia, Peralta, Avila due up when we get to the bottom of the 10th. Right now it's 2-1 Minnesota. Span pinch hits, leads off with a single. Moves to second on the ground out, scores on the hit by Carroll. Ground ball right side, straight at Infante. And that will end the inning. However, the Twins take the lead as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. It's now 2-1 Minnesota. Down by a run, some defensive changes. Denard Span stays in the game. He'll play in center field for Minnesota. Ben Revere, meanwhile, will move to right field. Escobar coming on to play shortstop, Eduardo Escobar. And Carson now will move to left field. It means Willingham's out of the game. And Glenn Perkins is on to try and save this one now for Minnesota.
13 saves this year, 16 opportunities, and he's done well enough this year in that role that he probably will go into spring training as the Minnesota Twins closer. You don't see many left-handers closing in the major leagues, but when you've got a plus fastball like Perkins has, which will get up to 97 miles an hour, you can dominate some hitters late.
So he will face Avisail Garcia, his second at bat in this game, and Garcia swings, sends a ground ball to second base. Carroll throws him out, 1 pitch, 1 away. He's going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Perkins replacing Burton, who threw a 1-2-3 ninth. Dunsing 2 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Johnny is 0 for 3 in this game, fouls it back. 0-1. Only 6 Tigers hits in this contest. They scored a run in the first, have not scored since. Johnny shoots one foul down the right field line. No balls, 2 strikes. Gerald Laird has moved to the on-deck circle. Avila was due next. And the 0-2. Popped up foul, back out of play. Peralta hitless in the series, 0 for 10. Way inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perkins this year with 13 saves. Matt Capps has 14. He's been injured. Some rotator cuff inflammation. He's due to come back tomorrow. Perkins trying to close this one down here tonight. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Peralta goes down on strikes. 2 gone. And it's going to be all up to Gerald Laird. Laird for Avila. Gerald in the opener caught game 1. He was 0 for 3. Batting .278. And he takes strike 1. Well, Perkins gets ahead. 6 Tigers hits in this game, 5 singles and a double. The double belonged to Cabrera to not get a run in the first. Here's the 0-1. In the air toward right field. Long run for Revere. He gets there, and the Twins sweep the doubleheader.
Disappointing couple of losses here today by the home team. And P.J. Walters, who had given up quite a few runs coming into this start. And the Tigers could do nothing with him tonight.
So the White Sox will take a 1-game lead into play tomorrow. Tigers had a chance to tie him up, but there's still plenty of time left and only a 1-game spread.
That's right.
Final score in this one, 2-1 in favor of Minnesota as they sweep the Tigers. Back with more.